Hey, what's up? Welcome to another video. Um, it's 2 in the morning. Realized I gotta do another one. Um, been thinking a lot about the money situation of the situation. And, I've heard a lot about automated money um, in talking about AI and that kind of thing because, you know, I think a lot of the goals of AI is to create something that's an automated system of creating income, something that's intelligent enough to create income for you, as well as things that are intelligent enough to sell to those things that are, not even to those things, selling to you, but selling to you through other AI or whatever. Because theoretically, if we get to a place where your Amazon Alexa is so good, sorry if I set that thing off just now, that it's so good that it um, automatically is, gauging you in your life, and you are trusting it enough to make purchases for you based on what you are needing around the house. Theoretically, it could be updating your home to buy more milk or less milk or more, whatever you're cooking with. Say, if you say like, oh, I want to make my soup that I always make, and then it knows your soup recipe, so it orders all the stuff that you're missing for that. Or it goes, oh, the government is working surprisingly well and is telling us exactly how much resources you should have for 2 weeks or whatever, and so we're getting you two things of toilet paper, and they will be, shipped out in an orderly fashion to make it as little chaos as possible. But yeah, so they're having AI systems that sell, AI systems that purchase, and AI systems that make money for people, creating this loop of basically sustainability within people's lives. I mean, the hard thing is that the key element to that is AI systems that make money for people, because otherwise you're going to create siphons instead of creating loops. And there are things, having a YouTube channel you can do from home, and you can make pretty good money. Although in a situation like this, like I just saw that, and I don't know if everyone's is, but I just saw that 2 days ago my advertising revenue, which was going up pretty significantly ever since I started talking about money in a couple videos. One of my videos had 17 views and made $1, which in the YouTube world, that math is crazy. That's a lot of money for such a low-hitting video to make. I should do the math on what the CPM is on that. Put it in the description. Not in the comments. I don't want to do the math. You do the math. But if people have systems like that in place, if there are a lot of financially automated systems, maybe not fully automated. I mean, until AI is making creative, good decisions for you as far as your revenue streams, it could be just helping you create those types of things in the way that YouTube is propagating out successful videos and stuff. There are things out there. Musicians being able to put up on Spotify, if you're successful in that, you can make some money. People being able to possibly sell merch. I don't know, unless you're big, how much merch can really do for you, unless you're like really doing that right and making that a priority. Obviously, like Amazon FBA probably is hard right now because the quarantine on China, and most of those products come from China. Not to mention, America's getting pretty close to shut down at this point. So I feel like it's a lot of the digital services that would be in the best place. But that being said, if all the food aspect of your life and the toilet paper aspect of your life was pretty automated from Amazon or wherever you were shopping for that stuff, there would probably also be less panic in the market. People I think one of the big pieces of why the market is collapsing is not just that we're in the middle of a pandemic, but people don't know how we're going to come out of this. People's lives are changing very dramatic, very quickly. If that wasn't the case, if people were like, yeah, I still make money, I can still spend money from home, then the market would probably be a little more confident, because it can be like, yeah, I mean, it's scary. Pandemic will probably not be good for any market, but a market where people are able to make money from home fairly easily, and businesses already work mostly remotely and stuff like that, probably would have less of an impact, I would think. And even still, if it was the same impact, it would at least be a little bit more comfortable for people. Because it's interesting. I mean, I work from home and socialize less than I should, and hearing other people like 2 days into this be like, you know, getting cabin fever and I'm claustrophobic and like I got to get out and go do stuff, and I'm like, honestly, I feel more of that anxiety of other people feeling that than I do. I'm like, yeah, I can hang out, like I can talk to people on Discord or whatever. I definitely prefer seeing people in person most of the time, but I'm also very comfortable not doing that. But that's also been something that, to be fair, I got in a severe accident that really gave me some PTSD about going outside, and that cooped me up more and made me adapt more to being comfortable with being at home. But I will say, knowing people like my father, who's works from home, and other creatives that I know, not just creatives, but other people that I know that work from home and have for a long time, you do get very used to that, and then you create new systems. Well, most people, I think, create new systems to go out to interact with people in social ways, and obviously that being cut off is an issue. But there's a lot of amazing tools now. We got video conferencing. We got Skype or Google Chat or whatever. There's all kinds of friend simulating going on YouTube and whatever. I mean, like, people already kick back and listen to podcasts of people blabbing away and just chatting while they're doing something in order to get some socializing, some of that socializing feeling in. So there's a lot of that kind of stuff already out there. But yeah, it's interesting to watch all this, and I'm really curious to see how much the systems are going to, because of this, adapt and become more simplified. Obviously not simplified systems, but simplified for the end user and simplified for being at home and stuff like that, or being wherever you are, not necessarily at home. And it's funny because there's so much of these systems already building and in place, and I just think the most important part of this that needs to be the piece that comes out of this is that people have ways to make ongoing income from things after the fact, some sort of residual or semi-passive income. I don't think there's really that many things that are true passive income, but things where you can be at home and do some stuff and be seeing ongoing profit, so that if you get into this situation and some crazy pandemic happens, you're not thinking, am I going to pay rent? I think that's already something that needs to happen, because of business has gotten exploitive, because there's so many pressures now against things like Amazon or things like services out there, and those services are going to get more intense and more competitive. So anyway, and I think, the big fear for me is, as far as that kind of stuff, I don't know if fear is the word, but the thing that I hope is not going to be the case is that it becomes a haves and have-nots of automation. If you own automated systems, you are, and AI systems, you are able to find and make money, and maybe those systems are expensive at first. And if you're not, it becomes harder and harder because you're competing with something that's highly efficient and can do many people's work in a small portion of the time. So anyway, that's a whole thing. Curious what your thoughts are on all this. I don't know if I have anything else to input on it, but it's interesting to think about. And I like the idea of automation of money. I think a lot of people assume or are afraid that people are going to sit on their couch and or play video games or do whatever, which honestly, who cares, man? Chill out. Like if systems are in place and people are able to play games, there's people that make more money than most people while playing video games. And if the systems are in place that most people can't work because jobs are just being completely replaced or whatever, I think that's fine. But I don't think that that's something everyone's going to do. You get out of people not having to have their normal gigs, you get all kinds of amazing hobbyists and philosophers and people using their brains in more creative and interesting ways that can end up benefiting humans in a more dramatic way. And I think especially when you have people, because not everyone, I don't think, is like, I need to be a billionaire to be inspired. Because I say this because I don't think I need to be a billionaire to be inspired, because I'm inspired right now, and my end goal is not even slightly to become a billionaire. And if that somehow were to happen, the thing that would be amazing about it would be that I would have the freedom to be creative and not be worried about bills. So, and I don't think I think there's a surprising number of those people. And so if you end up with people that are bored, and you end up with people that are creative or philosophers or inventing or whatever else, I think the people that are bored, maybe they'll drop into video game land or TV land or whatever their thing is that they entertain with. And I don't think that's the worst thing in the world. But I think a lot of those people actually, if they see inspiration happening around them a lot, will very quickly, or not very quickly, but eventually start wanting to try things and start wanting to evolve themselves too. And in my experience, evolving yourself is a little bit addictive. Once you've done a few things or gotten past hard pieces and done something incredible, you're like, I want that feeling again, Anyway, I'll stop there. All right. See you tomorrow.